Here I am live. Okay. Oops. Hopefully that'll work. So I hope everyone is having an interesting start of day. Yes, I am definitely getting ready for this November. Oh my gosh, the second half. And definitely also bringing in a new, it's like a new area of the conversation with universal messages. I think that people will find it ultimately interesting. Oh, thank you for spending time and hanging out. Thank you for those who are subscribing. Thank you for following the conversations. I do enjoy our conversations, and I know that sometimes we don't always agree on, and we don't have to agree on every single thing. And this is not a place where I'm trying to win you over. And what makes it interesting, add a little bit of nuance, I'm not trying to be won over. So this is a fantastic place to come in and come in with your own thoughts, your own perspective and opinions. And of course, I will respect your opinions and your stance on any of the subjects that we cover here. Um, and there's nothing I'm going to ask, but because I mean that's just not the. I mean, my live streams are not even structured in a way where people don't just express their own thoughts in the way that their thoughts are are organized in their own head. Um, but we like okay, so I'm very open to um, people's plural ideas, philosophies, beliefs, and um, now there is just one of me, and I know that it's like in my field of being a psychic, it's we're not thought of as many branches. It's thought of as one branch. So there's like one brush. But all I can say is open mind. At least come in with an open mind. So yes, hold fast to your beliefs and etc. But if there's a reason why you came, there's a reason. So just be open minded. That's all I'm going to say to that. I think that it will abode well for everybody. And yes, I'll definitely will work very hard to do the same. hmm So so the new area of topic is what was it? Oh, the question is universal messages or are universal messages even relevant? I added even to this question because we asked before and we asked, well, we told, okay, so we asked that question of relevancy. Then we asked, what is even universal messages? We talked about that already, and then we asked, like, what does it do? So, what do people get out of it? So, um, so I think I may have answered the question today. So I've been reading since then, and the men from all over the world, different continents, they don't know each other. They all are asking a very interesting question, and they're posing their question in the same way, the same words or word. Specifically, when asked, when prompted, to let's begin the reading, all men, unrelated, different cultures, obviously, ethnicities, etc., race, different on different continents, different in different states, ask. They say one word, by the way, relationships, all of them. And what's even more interesting is only men, by the way, I want to highlight that only men are posing their questions in this way. It doesn't dialect wherever they're from or accent, and maybe you understand accent better. Accents doesn't matter. All of them are saying relationship, one word. And this is not typical for usually, they're asking a very detailed question about a very specific woman in their, the special woman in their interest, or just anyone of their interests. The other thing that's interesting about this is, okay, though women are asking about relationships, they're asking their questions in a unique way. And they also are using full sentences. So I ruled out that. So I do believe that, okay, so I guess I wrote yeah, I did. I wrote a paragraph in the last stream. That paragraph was meant to say, well, what was it just? It was something to the effects of, like, if we were all in a group and we all looking in like full length mirror, we all individually unique to ourselves would pick out details of what we see in the mirror, and from our perspective, or we would talk about certain things in a very unique way. So women are doing exactly that, but it's interesting in the idea of, okay, yes, there's a universal, I guess, message, but every one of us can see our uniqueness. Like, okay, so although all these varying men across the world ask this question in one way, all of their readings anyway, because even women are asking about relationships, though they're asking in sentences, and being very specific. Each reading in what they are seeing in the mirror is, metaphorically speaking, is unique and different for each individual, uh, woman or man, or all the men in the group asking the same question the same way. And they're just using one word. Although every single reading is always different, by the way, just so you know. So we don't preamble people. That was a thing in the 80s where the psychic would start the reading off, and it would usually last 1 minute, maybe 1 to 5 minutes, and they called it a preamble. In fact, um, I had okay, so when I was entering into the industry, I brushed against the preamble. I came across it, and those are pre-written. They were pre-written. Basically, it was highlighting what the psychic does, their gifts, and they would take that time to make connections. Of course, I don't think preambles are a thing today. I think it's a thing of the past. It was phased out because the world, just got a little faster. Now with technology, no one and anyone is not hanging out listening to a script. So, and they make it very clear, no scripts. But why would you even need a script as a psychic? And it wasn't the psychics who thought of this idea to, let me create a preamble or a script. That was actually requested by the company. It was, in fact, it was taught, by the way, by the companies, and how to do it and what to say in it, like what you should include, and it was mandatory. So they you had to be good at it because the company mandated it. But anyways, we don't have that anymore. So yeah, that's improvement. There's a lot of barriers. Okay, so I also had the opportunity of speaking with some new companies that have have come up, but the people themselves have been in this industry for a very long time, and they all say in their administrative circle, the corporate circle of in our industry is, well, the past 10 years, the psychic industry has changed. So everything how we've known it, I guess 10 years ago is not what it is today. So, so that's interesting. So I believe maybe there's new things, but for starters, AI is even in our world. So, hi, how are you? I snuck in here a little early. I came in. Yes, I am here. Here are my feathers. Yes, the tarot cards. I am you. I do use sometimes come on live, so that's not a big deal. Occasionally, but I just wanted to kind of hang out. I have my tea just in case you. I just took a sip, and I'm at my desk where I have several decks of tarot cards. I have the traditional original tarot cards. I have the new modern day tarot cards. I love the modern take. Yes, we were continuing a conversation from yesterday, and we were asking about universal messages and whether they're relevant today or not. Whether they're relevant, do people even believe that you can? I mean, I know people even struggle with the idea of readings in general, but I mean, just for information's sake, for educational purposes, are universal messages helpful? Are they relevant? That's the original question. And so I was just sharing some of my, over the past 24 hours, my experiences. I think that universal messages, very briefly in one sentence, men from different continents in different states, etc., all across the world, pose a question in one word when prompted, how would they like to start off or help navigate the reading. And each of them said in one word, they said relationship. All of them, regard different accents, of course, different regions of this world. But I read for both men and women, and the women ask questions differently about relationships, and there are other men who ask differently. But I always pay attention to. I believe that my clients, I see like these, like how do I keep up with like what's trending in the spirit world? Is that groups of unrelated people reaching out to me, asking in that area of conversation. So, like, if I get a group of people and they're asking about crypto, I know something's going on, and I probably need to do privately, in my studies, do some observing and studying and do some forecasts, so that I can, just get that information out there. Um, Relationships, or like how I guess how our emotions sometimes collectively collide. Yeah, yeah. It's like people are asking questions in more or less in a collective, like a collective mind, and the mind is present. They know each other, like in the mind and through symbols, but they may have never met. It's so wonderful to see symmetry. That's the mathematic. That's the scientific word for synchronicity. We say synchronicities or syncs. Uh, I'm learning these fancy scientific words. I've been visiting the library. I've been over there in the mathematics sections and philosophy, psychology section, hanging out, and I couldn't believe I found a phenomenal author to help me out with some things. Yeah. But that was what I wanted to share today. I was just coming in very briefly, but I hope everyone is having a good day. You all must be pretty busy because usually you all come in here pretty quick. But that's okay. I'm happy that you're here. You made it. So good. And and it's also Monday. It's like usually I do come in later, or I come in on the like weekends early. It's fine, but people have things to do, so I get it. um, I probably am doing more of this for me than anyone else, but I'm having a good time with it though. As long as I'm having a good time, as long as you're safe, you're getting business done. By the way, I'm busy as well. Um, I started at 7 o'clock, and but I started getting everything in order, getting my business affairs in order yesterday. So I am working and not being idle. um, so I'm just sort of taking a little bit of a break too. So kind of hanging out and giving all the blessings, and those who kind of like peeked in, and you maybe you're getting, maybe you're getting ready for some tests. You're getting you're getting awake. Hey, wake up, get to the kitchen, have a phenomenal breakfast or lunch. Some people are lunch people at this time. Hope you had some. Well, it'll be like what, 6 hours ahead. Yeah, lunchtime for some. What's after lunch? You know, drink plenty of water. Like, shake it off. I know you got to probably get to work. That's okay. Here's energy is moving your way. I too am doing my thing, and um, there's good uh, uh, information that was coming through about abundance. We talked about that. We also talked about seizing the moment. It's about people are going to gravitate to you. Try your best again with the open minded. Try to be open minded, because I think that the ones who that maybe cause you to be suspicious, I think that they are not around. You don't have to deal with them at this time. So that's a good sign. The good sign is that, of course, that I see is, okay, then that means you have the right people gravitating to you. It's not the idea of, oh, I've got people gravitating to me, but do they mean you well? Are they here to help you to benefit in a special way, in an abundant way at that? And the answer is, um, this group currently should be. So, what is it? Between now, next Sunday, it'll be a little bit tricky, because you'll have, these people actually they'll want your time. I don't get the sense that they're demanding, but I get the sense that sometimes, if you're just mind you in your own, and like yesterday, was it yesterday or this morning? I think it was yesterday. I was speaking to someone who is, they work. He's a he. He works best when by himself. He likes independent work, and I was like telling him, well, yeah, you have a few people, like surrounding you right now, and this will be productive for you. Like, go for it. But because he's likes to work independently, he likes the small group one-to-one conversations. I said this will be favorable as well. For you to, maybe it's an interview, or maybe it's winning someone over in for a project to go forward. This, like, he has the more of the scales are leaning. It's like you could literally tip the scales in his perception of the universe. Yeah, and so I said, yeah, this is favorable. Though he was one of the ones who posed their question in one word. He was the relationship guy. So he also gave him some tips in attracting that lovely woman he's intending. That was his goal, but he got a little extra because this is the season of people, minus the, like, everybody on a microscope. You've already done the microscope thing. You already checked them out. So yeah, you should have. You should have already checked them out. Yeah, they're here, at least leading up into this upcoming Sunday. So you have like 4 days, something like 5. Is it 5 or 4 days? Something like that. Well, anyway, what in the world does this mean? Well, I think it means that the 23rd, 29th, I'm already sensing what it's about. By the way, this is microcosmic energy, microcosm information. So this is like day-to-day routines of life. I think that it's attracting people to think about like love, connections, relationships, things like that. Intimate specifically to add. So, this would be a great time for partners getting together. I already said that November is a romantic time, but you're gonna feel the affections quite heavily upcoming on 23rd through the 29th. Mm-hmm. Hi! Oh, you subbed. Yes. Phenomenal. We have a sub. We have somebody who's going to join us on the journey. Good. Because we're you have subbed at the right time. I am fairly new. Now I have been playing around with this for years, but I mean, this is new for me to interact with people and live stream, though I have many like uploaded videos and so forth. But like now I'm becoming more, I guess, I don't know, maybe I'm user friendlier these days. They're letting actual people find me and interacting, coming in and saying hi and finding me and subbing. So you're new, you just got here, and I just want to let you know we have been practicing this for years, so we do have some wonderful things to offer you. That's my point. That last piece. I do have something to offer you. You're gonna love it, I promise. Information wise, an array of topics, and we're learning, every day. Yeah, yeah. The channel is not just about readings or me reading people and having the ability to do so. It's about discovery. It's about, and it's definitely like I say, like there's certain people who are spiritualists, and you're supposed. The idea is think about others, consider others, before yourself. No, with a psychic, it's your time to focus and give back to self. That's a time of becoming, like they say, center yourself. That's a spiritual way to saying it's time that you be a bit, self-centered. You center yourself, you consider yourself for now, So that's what it means. It's kind of like my way of saying to relax. It's okay, to consider oneself. Because there's many areas of life where you get all of the, to the charity bit, connect with others. But, and my take is, are you getting all of the benefit that life has to offer? And let's get you there. That way you will transcend this conversation. But if it's a reading, I would say, yes, my goal is to help you transcend this reading. And people, they worry for me. They say, are you sure? Because this means that, like, if I transcend, I won't need to talk to you. I'm like, that's the beauty. You won't need to talk to me about on this subject. But because the world is vast, it will open up to you in so many different ways, and you'll want to achieve other things. So I go based on you achieving. My clients they will get the contracts, etc., or move to the country, and these are conversations they don't spend time talking with me about anymore. Now it's, okay, am I gonna I'm ready to meet a hottie, I'm ready to go out there and paint town red with my friends, things like that. We start about other subjects because my goal is to get you putting into practice all of the tools that we will have for the rest of your life. So it's definitely priceless. And I also like to, I say, now you're officially a practitioner. I start calling the clients practitioners. I'm like, you're putting into practice all of the tools you have accumulated along the way, all your treasures, your goals, your work now that you're in your new role. All of these now are you're into practice. You're living your life, a practice every day, and you're adding more to your practice of being well-rounded. So that's my goal. That's the way I let people know that they're not here to be stuck, and they're not stuck here with me. They are meant to transcend, and I celebrate that. That is the ascension, your ascension. I celebrate it, and yes, but it doesn't mean our paths it stop there. So don't be afraid to cross the finish line. But I always also illustrate, because when I give a prediction, like I speak of next Sunday, people like, I mean, it's only natural. Maybe it's the way I word it. Like they say, "Oh, okay, so I have 7 days." No, 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 no. Throughout these 7, 5, 6 days, you're living life. You're putting into practice. You're going from event to event to event that create the event that's meant to happen. Let's say the 23rd, or through the 23rd to the 29th. So yeah, your human your participation is desired, is needed. So that's a good thing. Yes, if you're busy, I understand. I understand. If you're busy and you're like, I'm trying to hang out, but I have to be one place, or I gotta get, I'm trying to get to school. I get to work. I get it. You're studying. You're cleaning up. I get it. Do that. Please do that. You can catch up with a stream. Yes, because remember we're just starting. So yeah, we're just starting out. This is brand new. Think of it like that. I know it says otherwise, like well, in my about page, but just trust me, it's brand new. You just got here. You're new, and you're just arrived to hear fresh information from the beginning, and it's only going to become even more astonished, more amazing, because there are subjects that I haven't even started sharing yet that we will share in 2026. So this is just, like I am sharing important information, but this is information that it's kind of like I've discussed it, and but it's still a rare piece of information, and so I will share it as I meet people. In other words, um, yeah. So so to you, the information is new, of course. So yeah, but we're not gonna keep sharing that. I mean, well, of course, when the information comes up, we'll share it. But we are wanting to share the new information. Yes. So you've arrived just right on time. Being very well read and studied and knowledgeable and experienced. On top of that, learning more. I'm giving you so much. So thank you for the sub. I know you already headed off, but I am blessing the subs. I'm so happy with that. People are subbing on their own. They're just coming, hey, I subbed. So I'm taking that as our paths will cross again, because usually they're very busy, and I will try to keep a nice stream of positive energy moving your way in the form of my words, and yes, every now and then we will, you know, run into. But I'm learning to embrace those whose, I guess, beliefs differ from mine, or their what they call it, their philosophy of life and how this world works. And I respect, and I think even need their contrasting thoughts, because that's how we can improve. Because we can find out, okay, what is the offense. And then maybe it's just the offense and not so much the title psychic to be specific. Um, okay, if it's a list of things, so somebody pointed out some very specific things. Usually it's about. Now I don't have any blogs of fraud written on me. I'm not on a fraud list or anything like that. Very, you know, clients who work with me do not, that's not why they get upset with me is whether the gift is right or is like if I'm fraud or like I'm claiming to have a gift I truly believe but I don't have the gift and somebody needs to tell me it's none of that. It's always when a client has gotten upset is because information can be upsetting, and for many reasons, and I'll leave it there just to keep focused on myself. Um, so the only time that like those words would be mentioned are people outside of that industry or people who maybe they have a bias for psychics, so those they say psychics are frauds, and then it's well, you do this, you do that. Okay, all the places where you do this, you do that, that's useful, right? So I work on not doing those things. So I'm like, okay, that's good to know. So you believe, or somehow you've encountered psychics yourself, or there's like the majority, like a great number of psychics doing those practices that are not putting the title psychic in good light. Okay, I heard. Okay, well, let's start planting better seeds. Let's work to not do those things then. So it's useful. And then, of course, there's not me just taking licks, by the way. So I'm like, well, on their side, it's like you could be a little bit more open mind. You could ask a little bit about myself and how I work, and you could ask, and then compare it to information you already have experienced or know already, and then we can go from there. So I always think of it like that. So it's like we mutually learn, and then we can mutually grow together, and we all benefit. So yeah, yeah. But anyways, I just wanted to come in. How far are we? Okay, I'm gonna. I don't know. So the next 30 minutes, I'm just gonna relax. I know that people prefer that I am on the stream myself. Like, I know, I get it. It's okay. Remember how it's been sunny? I said, oh, it's been sunny the past few days. Well, now it's the fall weather. It's trying to come through. Demeter is, they say, putting a blanket over the world. So and it's cool, and I'm all cozy. You know, I'm just right here at the desk. It's gray, so I'm just like, just like with it, like just go live. I can. So that's why I'm not on the camera. But I know it's like you need to be on the camera. We got to see you. So I will get back to that, and I thank you for nice comments as well when I've gone live and I'm on camera and I know that the tarot cards is is a little out there for a lot of people, but I want to reintroduce them, in a different way. I want to introduce them to you and help you to see that it's really the person who's using the tools that can either tarnish the reputation or actually bring something good, to the service of being a psychic. Because a psychic is service to anyone, everybody who needs it. We are in I think we're in the self-care, self-care part of like the industry, we fall under self-care, when people are needing to care for themselves. And it just shouldn't be like a, I guess, like what, a specific religion should not like be the only reason why a person has access to. So it doesn't matter what they are. Do they do they need are they needing to care for self? That's all that we need to know, or that's what I just need to know. But I'm saying that that's what psychics do is they help anyone, everyone, and of all religion beliefs and wherever they are. Does regardless of what you look like, it doesn't matter. Like, oh, do you only see one group of? No, not at all. That is, that's is bizarre to even try to think about. No, it's anybody. Anyone, we should be able to like help them to take greater care for self, because they do, that rubs off on those who are directly involved with them or around them, and also new people who will enter their life. And I've met people who are meant to do big things. I've met people who are inventors, who have ideas, who are, doing something to change the world, and they just know that I guess this is their divine mission, and and guess what? They are not all any one religion. So they they are many. Some are like just literally scientific in the brain. So that's just the way their mind works. So it's that's the way that we really, honestly, that's how we see people. And so that's why like to elect, you know, um, that it's spiritual. That's the way we see it. It's spiritual more so than anything. Of course, if you're gonna have all these people and from different spaces, it's good to know, who these people are. So, I for one, but many psychics will indulge themselves in the people who they are serving. So, if you need to study African religions, there's a reason. Or if you need to study the Caribbean religions, there's a reason. If you need to study, have an idea, like if you I attract Christians as well. So I study Christians, Catholicism, to have a better understanding of who the group of people I serve, and Muslim people. So have an idea of the holy text, from there, and same way with India. So it's definitely not like you have to learn a new doctrine to get the substance, like the purpose out of what psychics do. You don't. In fact, we shouldn't be talking about that at all, unless it's a class, unless you're a spiritualist and you're like just interested in learning more, or a take from the psychic, something like that. But pretty much it's, your spirituality belongs to you, your religion belongs to you, your beliefs belong to you, your thoughts belong to you, and you're just like, I just need one thing answered. Pretty the basic bottom line. Like, what's the bottom line for today? Okay, all I need and all I'm focusing on this. But oftentimes my clients do relax and they're like, what do you have for me today? Or what's going on, or why is the energy around, like fluctuating? I can feel it. And so, yeah, so we can let them in on, things that are considered maybe a little mysterious, mystical. Yeah, so we can talk about those things, but it's always at the discretion of the one who's visiting well, myself as a psychic, but psychics in general. At least that's what it should be. It should be that way. hmm You all must be really busy today, so which is good. Which is good. Good for you all. I'm so happy for you. You're visiting, um, as you can, but you're managing as well. So that's good. That's a good thing. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. So what the okay, so I 40 minutes must represent my hour. So I'm going to uh, say have a good rest of your day, and I am going to try to get some journaling in. I'm preparing for a lot of writing. I did that. Oh, I've gotten also wonderful response from the last. I sent what I shared with you all about the universal messages I sent to clients, like over 200. They are really liking it. They're reaching out. They're like, I've been looking for you. How are you? So I'm thinking about making it a thing. And I always worry, like, okay, I can write a message, I guess, every day, but maybe like I should at least write more frequently. I should just keep that in mind. Maybe just write more frequently. Maybe not. You don't need to write every day. Like every day, I write, but definitely every day. Cause like write something new for you guys. Like if I'm going to go live, definitely have something to in the description, definitely that's a yes. But yes, definitely writing every day, more frequently, but sending more frequently to, I guess, to my clients. But I don't need to give them some. I don't think I should write them every single day. This like maybe every other day, because I had it where it was once a week. Of course, you know how that happens. Once a week, that means once every 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a half to the most. So I have received plenty of feedback like what is this like more of this. Okay, all right. And what's beautiful is when they do respond or react to what I'm sending, I actually can I have two ways that I can respond to them, and that is through uh, text. I can write them back, or I can audio them. And so I've been choosing audio. Yeah, so I audio back to them once they respond, and it's a big thing. It's a big deal, and it means a lot to me. So I am seeing interactivity, and I'm working on keeping that in place. I am so looking forward or towards. I guess I don't know which one that is. I'm looking forward to having some of that same features. That'd be nice, where you all can get in touch and contact with me a little easier. So I'm trying to still map that out. I think I have it. I almost have it figured out, and like the medium and how I already have the number already in place for people to reach out. Just a regular phone number. It's just all in. It's just the in between section, like before you get the number. Like, how do you get the number? How do you get the number? Same way, kind of like the way that you have the email. But I was before I had all of these tools. I was thinking, well, I have to wait till members, and that's a long way to get members, and people are already like, okay, what if we need to talk to you right now? So, or I have questions like today. So that made me think, okay, I need to accommodate today. Because it's kind of like, okay, you said that you're reading, then why are you not reading here? So I'm trying to sort of mimic like in the way that other clients are getting in contact with me. So I'm trying to have some of the same feature here on my channel to make it more simple and private, and like you take care of your private affairs and has nothing to do with me, but it's just only I need to do is just focus on the readings. So that's the luxury of working with the, the companies, is because they handle all of the administrative side, like they help get us connected. The thing is, with my YouTube channel, that's me doing that administrative part and getting us connected. So I'm trying to duplicate the real person activity, because like a real person connects, gets you acquainted and how to get around and how to contact me to you or you to and you to me. So I'm trying to duplicate that. But my brain is like I have the tools, so it's through technology. So, I'm trying to make it user friendly. So it's like the computer, I guess. So what's the story? The computer AI is replacing that human interaction, except for the readings. It's not ready to take on the uh, what is it? The human emotions just yet. That's what I have discovered. It is subjective about the nature of like the emotions of humans. So it's not ready to replace like the part where it would take the warmth and the experience of human, to demonstrate like readings, for example. Now it could, I think, though generically, it could produce an astrological chart. But then you might say, well, anybody can do that. I can do that. You might say that. But it's not going to be detailed and it's not going to be accurate in terms of like times and dates because no, they have already said there's a group of, and these are the elders, by the way, cemented, they in charge of the industry, so to speak, the mainstream part of the industry. They said they're not changing a thing. And they basically walked around the entire subject and minimized um, uh, the idea of any changes necessary. Or in other words, it's not relevant. So there you have it. There's that, and and they have spoken. So that's that. So any new, fresh information that comes by way of just like when I don't know if I almost wanted to say accident, like, but I know that there's no such thing as coincidence. So when I have a chance to speak on this subject to a listener, a willing listener, and they're participating with the information, that's when I like say, hey, the reason why I'm sure about this date is because, and then I can explain a little bit, not too much, but I have created some videos around the subject, sort of like more like to prove my points. But it's I don't think that we will. I don't think I will, because I'll be the one looking for that information. I don't think that I am going to see that this information that's in the mainstream just not for a long time. I don't know if ever, but I'm gonna make sure that it's on my live streams at least. So yeah, yeah. That way you'll learn. Um, Maybe you'll learn some ways, to forecast, or think about predictions differently. How are we? Okay, so with that said, I'm going to. I will try to set up another live. Maybe when. Maybe for this afternoon, I'll be back.